Welcome back to the Hinterlands of Elandria. I'm your Dungeon Master, Lex Starwalker, and these are Prelude videos where I got together with each of the players and discussed their character and backstory. So this one is the continuation of Brett's Prelude. Brett got split across 2 days. So this is the second part of his Prelude. And again, you can start watching the actual play of this campaign beginning on October 10th. And we will be live streaming new episodes every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Pacific time. So I hope that you will join us there. As far as preliminary videos, there will ultimately be 8 preliminary videos before the start of the campaign. There is an introduction to my setting of Primordia, and then 7 of these Prelude videos. So as I get these released, I'll get everything sorted in the playlist here on YouTube so that everything's in order. But I was not able to get all of these videos produced and released before we started the actual campaign. And in the future, I will be releasing commentary videos where I discuss the campaign. So if you're watching any of the actual plays and you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave those in the comments for that video, as when I make the commentaries, I will be referring to those comments on the YouTube videos to see if there's anything that people are curious about as far as why I did certain things, why I didn't do certain things, and things like that. Because the commentary videos are... the idea is that they will be helpful to other GMs to not only see what I'm doing, but to hear some of my thinking as far as, you know, how I'm planning for things, how I'm running things, why I'm doing what I'm doing, and stuff like that. So you can, as I say on the podcast, you can learn from my mistakes as well as from the things I get right. So we're going to get back on here with Brett and finish talking about his character.
I had a couple questions for you too.
Yeah,
specifically about my guy. While that's downloading, the first one was, let's see. So Paladin and Knight of the Order background. So the class and the background both have the skill proficiency of Persuasion. Do I just lose one? How do I do that? Because it wouldn't go to expertise.
Yeah, so Paladin, I believe you have a list to choose from.
I do. However, Persuasion is like the prompt for all of them. I think, if I remember correctly, it's like you have that one plus whatever else.
Oh.
And the same thing with Knight, with Knight of the, what was it? Knight of the Order.
Weird.
Let me see. Class features, skills, choose. Oh, no. I'm sorry. It says choose 2. So that is okay.
There
Never
we
mind.
Go. Now it's
it did answer it for me. Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, I just had to download it.
And so, geez, I have like 3 books open for this character.
I would not be surprised if this is the same person and he just made a version that looks more like what's in the book.
All of the prompts, just opening up the one that I just downloaded, those first introductory prompts, it looks like it's the exact same thing. So yeah it's got to be the same guy. So with skill proficiency, the Knight of the Order Persuasion is like the 1 and then plus 1 from among the others. So okay.
So just pick a different Paladin one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I did, now that I'm looking at it. I think I took care of that. So I have athletics, intimidation, persuasion, and religion. Nice.
Yeah, and I realized after I scheduled this with you, I'm like, we kind of already did a lot of this.
That's okay. I have questions, and and it'll make it go faster. So that was the first question. The second question is, so the starting equipment for Paladin. Yeah. As I take my glasses off and put them back on. So the starting equipment, you have a martial weapon and a shield, which, I have a question about the shield too. And then either 5 javelins or a simple melee weapon. Uh-huh. And then down at the bottom it says chainmail and a holy symbol. Can I, even though chainmail is higher AC, can I swap chainmail out for a breastplate at a lower AC rate or a lower AC? Because chainmail gives me the disadvantage on stealth.
Right. What's the main thing would be the cost.
Yes.
Cost difference.
Yeah, let me check. 2 goals.
I'd say just pay if there's a difference, just pay the difference, and that would be fine.
Okay. Let's see.
And I had you minimized so you weren't showing up on the thing. No, it's all worked out. All right.
There we go. Chainmail is 75 gold, and a breastplate is 400 gold. How did that change? That makes no sense.
That's a lot.
Okay, so if I do scale.
Oh, you know why? It's because it doesn't give you disadvantage. That's what you're paying for.
Good gravy. Okay, so I don't have that much money, and I don't want to put it all into a breastplate. So I could either go with the chainmail at a disadvantage, or try, I guess, a chain shirt would be 25 gold less. That would put me at a 13 plus dex.
So you're doing for your magic item, you're doing the shield, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think a lot of times I'm going to be using the group stealth check. So as long as everybody else rolls okay, I mean, if all 6 of you are there, as long as 3 people succeed, you're okay with the group check. So, and I mean, eventually you're going to get better armor anyway, one way or another. I actually homebrewed a bunch of armor last night. Oh, cool.
Nah. So which would you rather take? Would you rather I take the 13 AC chain shirt?
That's up to you.
Or the because at least that way I don't have disadvantage on stealth. And then the chainmail shirt is 16, which is perfect for my character, but he's going to be loud.
Yeah, that's up to you. Let's see, chain shirt is 50 gold, chainmail is 75 gold.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if you wanted to do that, I would give you you could just have 25 extra gold starting money if you want to take the other armor, because it's worth less. It's worth 25 gold less than the chainmail. And your shield is going to be +1, so that's going to add 3 to your AC.
Oh, okay.
So
that'll be +1. Add that.
So it's really up to you.
Let's see.
If you'd rather have a higher AC or not have disadvantage on stealth.
Well, I'd rather have a higher AC, but
if you go with the chainmail,
I also don't want to get the party in trouble.
You're going to have a 19 armor class if you go with the chainmail.
I know.
At first level. Well, second level, but that's
second level.
That's pretty insane, actually.
That's why I was thinking, well, if I do a breastplate, it's a lower AC, so it balances out. I just didn't realize it was 400 gold. Okay.
So yeah, I homebrewed some armor a bit. So when you look at Elven Chain in the DMG, it's a chain shirt. It's a +1 chain shirt, and it does not have a chain shirt is medium armor, but Elven Chain you can use even if you don't have proficiency in medium armor, but it still has a max dex bonus of 2 because it's medium armor. So I decided to homebrew it and make it a little bit better in my world and say Elven Chain is actually light armor.
Oh.
Which means there's no dex maximum for it.
Right. Oh, cool. Okay.
And then I came up with Elven. So that's an Elven Chain shirt. And then I came up with the Elven Chain mail, which is the whole suit, which instead of being heavy armor is medium armor.
Nice.
And then there's also elven plate, which is just basically plate armor that happens to be made out of mithril. Because I'm assuming all the elven stuff is made out of mithril.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Because if you look at like the elven, like for magic items, if it's elven made, it's half the weight, and that's what mithril does. And mithril just seems like the elven alloy to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Delicate, but firm.
Oh, and I also homebrewed plate mail.
Nice.
Which it's mechanically exactly the same as splint. But if you just like the flavor of plate and mail instead of splint, then you can go that way, which I do. And also like plate and mail was actually a thing, and I don't know that splint really was. I think that's a made up thing.
I think that was a real thing actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
nice. That's 17.
Yeah. So, and there's probably elven version of that too. So,
okay.
Anyway, that's neither here nor there. See,
how much?
I was working on items last night. Can you tell?
No, I had no idea. So that actually brings me to my next question: is what money do we start with?
Just whatever you get from your class and your background.
Okay, so
your background
10 gold.
Will give you, give you
all
some
right.
money.
Not enough for a breastplate.
Oh, so your shield. I was thinking about your shield.
Oh, yes.
And I think your shield is actually of... Okay, so let me remember here. Okay, yeah. So you were saying that your mother gave the shield to your father, right? Mm-hmm. To protect him.
Right. And my mother was the Celestial.
Oh, she was?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. Okay.
Yeah.
So your mother... any idea what kind of angel she was? Or did you not get that deep into it?
I didn't get that deep into
That's
it.
That's all right.
Yeah, I didn't think that through.
Okay, so mother was the angel. That's cool. So she that actually fits even better with what I was thinking.
Cool.
So I'm just looking at your email. She gave it to your father for protection. And then when he became old and frail, or maybe he died or was injured, he passed it on to you.
Right.
Cool. So actually, I was going to have like a secret. Of your shield. The secret was going to be that it was actually created by Celestial, by an angel. But since that's your mom, we'll just say it was her and it's not a secret.
Cool. Okay.
So it's actually of Celestial make, and it is made of something I completely made up, called, what did I call it? I swear I wrote this down somewhere. Oh, here we go.
Unobtainium.
Vibranium. No,
hey.
It is something kind of like that though. It is Celestial Adamantine.
Celestial Adamantine.
So I listen to this podcast, GM Word of the Week, where they do deep dive into like a word, and they did one on the origin of adamantine, and it was pretty interesting. But one idea it gave me was this idea that adamantine actually comes from meteors that like hit the ground. And so the reason that adamantine, like most adamantine you see, is either black or like a kind of a gleaming gray color.
Okay.
And that's because it came on a meteorite. It's been buried and compressed and heated in the earth and all this stuff. So the celestial adamantine is actually the stuff that didn't crash to earth and is from out there somewhere. And so it's like this gleaming, brilliant, like mirror-like silver color.
Sweet. Okay.
But it is adamantine. So it's like your shield has the unbreakable quality.
Nice.
Which means it can't be damaged or broken except by like it's like the One Ring. You have to do some crazy thing to destroy it. Like
okay.
which who knows what that is, but otherwise it's indestructible.
It'll be the boss fight. It'll be the first boss fight.
Yeah.
It gets chipped.
So since it's adamantine and it's celestial made, it only weighs 3 pounds.
Oh,
which
wow.
is half what a shield normally weighs. And I think you said it has the symbol of Elandria on it.
Right.
So it actually can function as your holy symbol for like spell focus, which is nice because you don't have to worry about having your holy symbol in a hand. You can have it on your shield. And yeah, it has a +1 bonus. So it gives you +3 to your armor class. And, you know, I was racking my brain trying to think of what a symbol of Elandria might look like. And then I realized, I'm like, wait, you're a designer. You might be better suited to this for me.
Oh, so, I'm all over that.
Yeah, I have some vague ideas of maybe like a symbol of a city, maybe.
Okay.
Because she's civilization, history, knowledge. But yeah, if you want to come up with an idea for a symbol, like,
okay,
you have my blessing.
Yay.
And you don't have to use that idea because it's like the obvious first thought that came, and then that was the only thought that came.
I'll see if I can make a couple.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's going to be on your shield. So,
well, yeah.
So, yeah, you can make it whatever you want, really. Yeah. And are you your noble background? Is that right?
I am.
I imagine that.
Knight. No. I am a Knight of the Order.
Knight of the Order.
That's my background.
Cool. And now I can't
remember what that is.
Were you, because I know I'd said something to you about maybe you were a member of the Queen's bodyguard. Did you want to do that, or did you have something else you wanted to do?
No, that I didn't have any ideas before that. That sounds good.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you're kind of like one of her elite personal bodyguards.
Okay.
For a while.
Why am I not now?
Well, yeah, that's a question. I mean, you could still be, but for some reason you're not doing that anymore. You're going to adventure instead.
I'm bored.
Yeah, I mean, that's up to you. It could be that you still are and you're like on a leave of absence, or she wanted you to do this for her, or you quit, or you're dishonorably discharged, or whatever you want.
Oh, no. Okay.
There's a price on your head. You barely escaped the headsman's axe. I don't know.
So much for neutral good.
So okay. So the setup for this is there's been a rumor that there's a village out to the east somewhere out in the wilds that is still around, that survives somehow, and most people think it's total BS and there's no way that could be true. But both the Queen and the Guild are wanting to know, because if there is a village out there, it could be that they have some way that they've survived that could help the city, maybe help protect Elandria better, or help protect any colonies they want to establish or anything like that. But it seemed to be so unlikely that no one really wants to put any resources into it. So this one member of the guild, her name is Druinda. She's a human woman. And the most notable thing about her is her face, and any of her body that is exposed is covered in horrible burn scars. And basically she was an adventurer back in the day and had an encounter with a dragon, and it breathed dragon fire on her, and she was horribly burned. Unfortunately, they either didn't have a cleric or the cleric was killed. So by the time she was able to get any kind of magical healing, like the scarring was already done. Where her eyes are is just this scarred mass of flesh. So she's blind now. And very cliche, but when she lost her physical sight, she found that she could see into the other realms. So she has like prophetic dreams and omens and stuff like that.
Okay.
And she's the one that's kind of brought you guys together, kind of Ocean's 11 style, to create this new adventuring group that is not at least not yet, part of the guild. And you're basically doing this for her, kind of personally, kind of off the books of the guild. I'm going to check out this rumor of this village. But this is definitely something that if the queen caught word of, she would be interested in how this goes. So you could be representing her interests in that way.
I'm wondering if maybe that's why I'm there. Yeah.
Steve's character, Steve is playing a bard, and he is going to be, I think he's going to be a College of Swords, which is a bard that they do like weapon tricks and like sword swallowing and weapon displays and stuff like that.
Okay.
And part of our idea we had with him is that he was serving in the court as like a court bard for the queen, but he was also kind of like an agent and a bodyguard, like undercover.
Oh, okay.
So people would just kind of write him off because he's just this like troubadour or whatever, but you know, he actually has magic and can fight. And so we're thinking that he's kind of involved with this, partly representing the queen's interests and whatnot. So it could be that the two of you are both kind of doing this and you're kind of working together, or it could be that you were both sent separately and you don't realize that the other one is also an agent for the queen.
Right. Although I probably would have seen him.
Right. And I told him that at the very least, you guys have seen each other in court. It's up to you guys if you've actually gotten to know each other at all, but you definitely would have crossed paths probably multiple times. So that might be something you guys can decide or work out, but I could see you knowing about each other or not, either way, whichever would seem more fun. Or it could be a thing of you just wanted to be an adventurer and you got, you basically, like you took a sabbatical from being a guard and the queen's like, hey, you know, you left on good terms. And if you ever want to come back, you're welcome. But you have my blessing to like do this other thing. Because it's really ultimately in service of the city too. So it's kind of up to you how you want to do it.
Okay. I wonder if she were to send two people, he's more of the covert. Yeah. Nobody knows he works for her kind of a thing, right?
Yeah.
What if I went as like the not the true, not like the, not in her name, but just to watch him or to protect him in the group.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That makes sense.
As like the Queen's Guard.
Yeah. I mean, people know that he works or worked for the Queen. They just didn't know that he was actually like more than just a musician that told jokes, you know,
right?
That he actually was also like there to defend her if needed, or
exactly.
And he also, I think he's thinking he does like kind of like intrigue, like spying and stuff like that. So
yeah, not my character at all.
But you guys would compliment each other well, you know.
Exactly.
And your guys kind of all about like the protection, you know, thing anyway. Mm-hmm. So that kind of fits.
Exactly. That's kind of what I was thinking, because his whole motivation would be he's not really the explorer type. He likes to explore, but that's not his main function, right?
Right.
He's more about protecting Elandria, protecting the Queen, protecting their interests, and all of that. So he would welcome an assignment where he were protecting those who were actually finding the information.
Cool. Sounds good. Did you see, or did I tell you about the +2 to Constitution?
I did. Okay. Yeah, I saw it earlier today.
And did you understand how the point buy works? Did you have any problems or questions with that?
I don't think so.
I think it's straightforward.
Yeah, it kind of went easily enough, especially with the sheet I was using. Probably with the other sheet too. It keeps stock of all the different of the amounts and how they switch at a certain after a certain amount, they cost 2 instead of 1. So
could you tell it that you had 30 points instead of 27?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah. So it keeps a running tally. It doesn't stop you, but it keeps a tally at the bottom of how many you've spent.
Cool. So yeah, the +2 to con is after all that. So it's not part of the point buy.
Okay. Yeah. So I put it in.
You've added like your racial stuff, then you throw in the con too.
I think I can show you this, can't I? Can I share my screen? Or we're recording. Never mind.
But yeah, I think you can.
Okay, let me show you really quick. Share screen. There we go. So I put let's see, the Constitution. I put the +2 bonus in here under the extra bonus column, so it doesn't mess with this part here.
I'm not seeing anything right now.
Oh, that's because I haven't shared. I have to actually click share. There we go. So this part, this was the point buy column here. And then under extra bonus, I added 2 here.
Yeah, that works.
Under Constitution. So worked out well. And then point buy total is 30.
Cool. I dig that.
Yeah. I love this character sheet.
Yeah, I do too. That's really cool. Yeah. So, yeah.
Let's see. So that was Druinda. Is she coming with us?
No.
Okay.
No.
Character wise, I need to roll my hit points for level 2.
Oh, you're gonna roll?
Yeah.
You're gonna gamble.
I am.
I think it's funny. I'm like, you have to roll in front of me, but I can't see what you roll. So it's like you could. It's just a psychological thing. I'm like,
it is here. Here.
Well, no, there. I don't. It's fine. The reason I did that is I thought about it, and I'm like, it's too easy to be like, oh, that roll didn't count, or be like, oh no, it wasn't on my book, so it doesn't count.
I should have said that didn't count.
So yeah.
So after that, damn it. Okay, so I rolled a 3 plus 3, so that takes it up to 19. Okay.
Yeah, so I guess we already went over a lot of the stuff. Seeing if I have anything here.
So we talked about the shield. Where are we starting out at?
Well, I'm basically gonna do a little intro thing, and you're basically gonna start out in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
And we will already have introduced ourselves to each other, or is that where we're kind of meeting for the first time?
Yeah, that's a good point. I might actually do a scene where you guys are still in the city, like the first time you all kind of meet.
Okay.
So you guys can kind of handle that. Because like probably you and Steve's character have at least crossed paths, but a lot of you are total strangers to each other. So. Okay. And I think it makes sense. She would have brought you all together to like make introductions and be like, these are the other members of the team, do some team building exercises or something.
We have a prologue in a tavern.
Yeah, but I wanted to start it kind of more kind of in media res so that we don't waste a bunch of time in the city and shopping and crap at the beginning. Because I was actually seriously, I was originally going to have you guys buy supplies.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I still kind of want to do that. But I'm like, if I do that, our first session is going to be you guys buying supplies. And that's all we're going to get done.
A shopping episode 1.
Yeah. So
what if you drop us into the middle of everything and then I saw Sam Riegel did a one shot with Critical Role where he was bouncing back and forth in time.
Okay.
To like fast forward and then back into the past. What if you did like a like jump us into the action and then do after the resolution of that, bring us back to like introductions and stuff?
Yeah, I could do that, but then I don't think we'll get where I want to get in the first session.
Yeah, and probably by the time we get through the battle and everything, we'll have a better idea of who we all are anyway.
Yeah. So I think what I'm going to do, and I think this kind of makes sense, is that she's just going to supply you with basic stuff, because it's like you guys have never adventured before. It's not like you really know what you're doing. And it was going to be kind of a test, like, oh, let's see if they actually get all the stuff they need or not. And I'm like, well, I'm kind of losing that, but I think it actually makes more sense that like you show up and there are already like pack horses ready with supplies on them. And then
nice.
And then that way it's like, well, you got the stuff you got at the beginning, but then when that runs out, you're on your own kind of thing.
Right. Okay.
So assuming I have time to figure out what she gives you, that's what we'll do. So if at the last minute I'm like, hey, you guys need to go shopping, then you know I didn't have time to do that. But yeah, that's a good idea. If I do that, that's a good way to handle it. And it wouldn't even have to be the first session necessarily.
No.
But the first time it comes up of, oh, do we have this thing? It's like, well, let's do a flashback to when you guys bought supplies and we'll decide now like what you have and what you don't have. So cool. Yeah, that could definitely be a way to do it. Yeah, there's just so many ways you can do things.
There really is. Get creative with the story. Other stuff that, as far as building goes, I don't know if anything else really matters. Like gaming set versus musical instrument or anything like that.
Yeah. Do you know what other people are playing so far?
Oh, no, I don't. Well, I know what Steve is playing now. What's everybody else doing?
Phoebe is playing a Furbolg druid.
Oh.
And her character's pretty cool. I did her prelude yesterday, and she's probably going to do Circle of the Moon, which is the one that's all about shape-shifting.
Nice. Okay.
And I told her, I said, yeah, just so you know, dinosaurs are totally a thing in this part of the world. And yeah, like they're everywhere. So you've definitely seen dinosaurs, so you can use those wild shapes. Cause I know a lot of DMs won't let druids use the dinosaur ones because they're like, well, you've never seen one, so you can't do that.
Right.
And I'm like, I decided a long time ago, I'm totally having dinosaurs. And, the raptors all have feathers and they're very brightly colored.
Ooh, okay.
I just think it's hilarious. You see the thing in the distance and it's like, wow, what a beautiful creature. And then it gets closer and you realize how big its teeth are. And then you're like, run, run, run away.
Very cool.
So yeah, let's see. She's Outlander background. And I think she appears as human because Furbolgs can disguise self like whenever they want. And, so she's passing as human right now, I think. Cool. And let's see. Danielle is playing a Fire Genasi wizard.
Fire Genasi.
Yeah, I think she's going to be a lore master.
Oh, okay.
Which will be fun. I think it's probably overpowered, but we're going to get the updated version here in November. So
we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. How overpowered can you be at first level? I'm not too concerned about that. Let's see. Craig, I haven't heard from in a while, but the last I heard, he was doing a cleric with the hunt domain, which uses a lot of like ranger spells. So he'll probably be an archer. Which nice, archer cleric, that's something you don't see every day. That'll be fun.
No, I like it. Something out of the box.
So yeah, we're going to have a wizard, a druid, a cleric, a paladin, and a bard, and whatever Jaime plays.
What? That sounds pretty rounded out.
Yeah, you guys have all the like major casters.
Yeah.
Cleric, druid, wizard, bard. I mean, I guess the only thing you don't have is like warlock and sorcerer. But between wizard and bard, I feel like you don't need a warlock or a sorcerer.
No, the bard will take care of anything the warlock and sorcerer would probably have done.
Yeah.
What else for languages? I have to, for Knight of the Order, I have an extra language that I can choose. Is there something specific out of Elandria that I should be looking at? I have Common and Celestial right now.
Maybe Elvish. The queen is a half elf.
Oh, that makes sense then.
There are some of the nobility are elven families, a few of them.
Okay.
So that could work.
That makes sense. Is there anything else for the what are we calling it? The Prelude?
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, I guess we already did a lot of it.
Yeah, the big question for me was the shield. So that helps. I've got that written down.
So do you dig the kind of almost mirror like gleaming silver? Does that work for your idiom?
That I love it, and that is really not going to go well with my stealth disadvantage.
Yeah, well, it's not
like this giant beacon.
Yeah,
I'm here.
Mechanically, it won't hurt you at all, but yeah, there's definitely anytime you fail a stealth roll, it'll have to be the sun.
It'll be the shield. Yeah, and I do ultimately, just so you know, going forward, ultimately, I do want to change it, just because I'm not a personal fan of chainmail. I'll want to change it to breastplate at the very least.
Are you gunning for full plate eventually, or
I don't know. I would probably only go as far as half plate.
Okay.
I probably wouldn't. It doesn't seem practical to do full plate anywhere. But someday I'd probably want to upgrade to breastplate and then to a half plate from there.
What if the full plate was mithril though?
That would be different. That's a different story altogether.
Yeah. Because I was if you were gonna do the armor as your weapon, I was thinking do the armor as your weapon. That doesn't make any sense. If you're going to do the armor as your magic item,
bull rush.
I was thinking of having it be mithril plate and saying that's the actual armor of the Queen's Guards.
Oh,
they all have this like elven crafted like mithril plate armor.
Right.
That's like, because I mean, mithril's like really light and flexible. So it wouldn't, you wouldn't have any disadvantage or anything. And it wouldn't like, even flavor wise, it wouldn't mess with your mobility or anything.
Okay.
So, but that could still be a possibility in the future.
Yeah, something to keep my eyes out for.
Yeah.
Eyes open for. Not eyes out, eyes open.
And if any non-elf can get their hands on some elven armor legitimately, it'd have to be an Aasimar, right? I mean,
hello. Half celestial. We've got to have some sort of hookup.
Yeah, right? Yeah, I think Craig's going to be a human. So he might be the one human.
The one guy. He'll be the one that we all have to cast light for. It's when it gets dark out. Yeah. Which I can cast light. So that'll work. Only for an hour though. It's not like my perpetual flame from Kihai.
Yeah. Oh, and Steve's guy is half dark elf.
Ooh, cool.
But
okay.
He comes from dark elves that live on the surface still.
Nice. All right.
So they're not like full-blown evil like the Underdark dark elves are, although they do tend to be a bit more ambitious and seeking of personal power than like the high elves and the wood elves. But they're not. They're maybe slightly more prone to evil than other elves, but they're not. Like when you think of dark elves and they're all chaotic evil, they're not like that.
Right. Okay.
They're just a bit more ruthless and power hungry than your average elf. A bit more arrogant even maybe than the
lovely. More arrogant.
Yeah, than the high elves maybe. I don't know.
I didn't know that was possible. Okay.
I know, right? So many kinds of elves. I almost threw in the new Eladrin that they did in the new Unearthed Arcana, but I was like, I have enough elves, and I don't really. I mean, they're cool.
Nobody's playing a winged elf. I'm surprised.
Yeah, me too. You'd think people would jump at that. I can fly at first level.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they listen to my podcast where I'm like, I think actually flying at first level is a bad thing because it's way too easy to die. It's 1d6 per 10 feet of falling, people. If you're 20 feet up, that could kill your first level character right there. True. Can you imagine though? Well, after what is it, third or fourth level, a winged elf monk who has like the equivalent of Featherfall. I can't remember what it's called. Yeah. But all the mobility plus flight, that would be awesome. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I ran a very short campaign here in Bellingham, and Nikki played in that, and she played winged elf ranger.
Oh, cool.
And she was all about the archery, and it was pretty cool because she could just hover up
you can
there.
Get distance. Yeah.
Out of range and just shoot arrows at things. I think she came close to falling out of the sky once or twice, but I never managed to make it happen. So. But she was suitably cautious and wary of falling, so she didn't go up too high, and she started getting injured. She decreased altitude and
smart. Okay.
Yeah, she's pretty smart about it. So I always like it when the players are suitably scared. Like, I've done my job. They're acting scared. They're taking precautions. I've done my job. We're all good now. I don't even have to worry about it now.
Yeah,
it's not going to happen. They're not going to let themselves get in that situation. Yeah, that's why I decided to make you guys second level. I was like, this way they might live, and also I forgot that a lot of the classes don't actually get their subclass until second or third level.
Yeah, so like, usually third.
Yeah, so at least this way, some of you will have it at the very beginning. Because I don't know, it just doesn't make sense to me that like I don't know, like you're a wizard or even a paladin, and like you're going to go out in the wilderness, and all of a sudden, oh, now I'm Oath of the Crown. It's like, well, flavor-wise, you're supposed to actually swear the oath, I guess, to the queen in this case, and you can't really do that when you're out in the middle of nowhere.
True.
So it'd just be easier if you already had that. But
yeah, it seems like that's probably something that I already did, and then I'm just aspiring to become what I've promised to be.
Yeah. It's like, well, he had those abilities, he just didn't use them in the first episode. But
there you go.
He just hasn't used that superpower yet until now.
I haven't had the need.
Yeah.
I don't want to boast.
Have it. But yeah, I think for your character, we'll definitely say that you've already done that. I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
That you've already sworn the oath, basically.
Okay, cool.
So,
and then when I hit third level, I'll just add that to it.
Yeah.
Because I think at third level for Knight of the Order, I get more spells.
Yeah.
More spells put on the list. So
yeah. And especially at first level, you can't even do a lot of the iconic stuff.
Yeah.
So like Paladin, like you actually have spells now, and you can divine smite or whatever it's called and all that good stuff. So
good stuff. Like bless. Yep.
So far, no one has complained about skipping first level. So
really? Oh, that's good. I can't imagine anybody would.
No. And it seems like everybody's like my real only concern with starting higher than first is I don't want to give people too much to deal with, and then they end up having like abilities that they never use just because, well, when I started out I had like 10 things I could do and I just never used this one thing.
Never got to it. Yeah, that makes sense.
I think all of you guys have enough experience with this game that we don't really have to worry so much about that. You can handle second level, I think. We'll probably handle third level, honestly. I think I feel like maybe Phoebe might be the least experienced player, and she seems like she's got it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know how much experience Jaime has had, I guess, but
I don't know. It seems like he's on the mark with us.
Yeah, he didn't have any issues, it seemed like not knowing what he could do or what his spells did or anything.
No.
So, and he was playing a spellcaster, which is the hardest thing.
He was a cleric, wasn't he?
Yeah. He was a war cleric, just like Keldor. Sweet. I'm excited to get this started.
Me too. I'm ready to play again.
Yeah. I'm ready to run something non-published. I can't even tell you how excited I am.
Yeah.
I think publish is harder, especially like Curse of Strahd, like these really long, huge things. I think it's way harder than doing your own thing.
Yeah, just the one or two times long ago. So
I always think it's going to be easier. So I'm like, oh, I'll run a published adventure. That'll be easier. And then I get into it and I'm like, no, this is harder. Why do I always do this?
It's like you do the published adventure thinking, okay, I can do this while I'm building mine on the backside, right?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. See, with my own stuff, the hard part is coming up with an idea I'm excited about. Like once I do that, it just comes together, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like this campaign, like I've got plenty of ideas. It's like, I mean, you guys will give me stuff to do long before I run out of my own idea. Like I already have stuff from like your guys' characters. I've done Preludes so far. I've got ideas of like things I can pull in later.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Because that's one thing, like watching Matt Mercer, like he does, I think he's really good at, is he'll pull in stuff from their backstory that sometimes even the player has forgotten about.
Yes.
Like I was just listening last night, and Scanlon ran into like some musicians that he used to like tour with or whatever. And I think Sam had like forgotten all about it. And like, it was super cool. And it's like, that's awesome. Like I want to do more of that and pulling stuff in. And
yeah. It really does a really good job of engaging the characters too, or engaging the players in their character.
Yeah. I think part of the trick is getting the right amount of stuff from your players. Like this is like perfect. Like you guys have given me enough where like each character, I've got a few ideas of something I can do, but it's not like overwhelming. But in the past, like running online, it's like you'll have one player gives you nothing. Like you have nothing. And then the other player gives you like 10 pages, single space typed, 8-point font, like their life story. And you're like, this, like, I can't look at this and pick out the 3 things I should focus. Like it's too much. Like give me the cliff notes, man. and I found when they give me 10 pages, you know how much I usually use of that? None of it.
None. Yeah.
Where if you give me 1 or 2 things, I'm probably going to use those 1 or 2 things.
Do you want us on this? Do you want us to add our own character histories based on what we talked about?
What do you mean?
For like Wahl's backstory.
Oh, like come up with stuff?
Yeah, I was thinking just doing basic, like what we discussed. Like he worked for the.
Like adding that to the sheet, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's up to you. I've taken my own notes on stuff. So
cool. Okay.
The sheets, as far as that kind of stuff, is really for you.
Okay.
I mean, I'm going to look at like your stats and equipment and stuff like that. But as far as like, unless you tell me, hey, there's new stuff in here, then I'll check that out. But
okay.
But yeah, you don't have to like put down stuff that we talked about unless you want to.
Okay.
Yeah, I have my own notes for everybody. So yeah. That I wrote on paper with a pencil. That's how old school I am. I'm at the computer and I'm still writing things on paper with a pencil.
I actually have my notes over here on the other screen. I'm cheating.
Yeah.
I type faster than I write.
Some of it's typed. But it's just easier to take my notebook with me to the other room than the computer.
That's true. That's true. Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool, man.
Cool. I'm excited. I can't wait to do this. I really like Wahl, the way he's turning out.
Oh, so Wahl's your character's name. I kept wondering what this Wahl was that you kept talking about. I'm like, what is it? I know they make drills. Wahl. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's the character's name. Okay.
That's his name, Wahl Borvalian.
Gotcha.
I'm imagining him with a Slavic accent.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say he's definitely not from Elandria originally.
No.
With that name.
Probably not originally. Not his father anyway.